Howdy, howdy, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to cover the round 1 results for the Domino and Cable arenas in Marvel Contest of Champions and jump into my thoughts for round 2 predictions. So first let's go over the results. So with the 5-star feature Domino, she's still pulling some weight there, coming in at 40 million. That's a pretty high number for a return again feature champ. You know, as I categorized it, an old feature champ, meaning that she's been in the feature arena before. Coming in at 40 million is definitely on the higher end, higher than I expected for sure. But when it comes to the 4-star feature, though, that 6.3 is much more in line in what we typically see. Again, a little bit higher, but again, we've seen these type of numbers for 4-star feature champs that again I categorize as old. Then jumping over to 4-star basic, we've got Cable, and he's been in the 4-star basic arena many times. He's been in the game for quite a while, and he's an okay champ, so that 1.56 million number is what we pretty much expected. So comparing these results to my predictions, and as I kind of revealed them there, it shouldn't be a big surprise on how my predictions compared. But and to be clear, that 40 million, I knew she was going to be on the higher end for old 5-star feature champs. I just didn't know. Again, 40 million, that's the first time in a long time we've seen that number for a champ like Domino that's been in the game for a while, but still a really great champ in the game. So that 40 million was unexpected. Did think higher, but not to that degree. So that one's definitely not the best prediction because there's always like I always say, is I try to get within 5 to 10% of the self-reported actuals. And like I always like to remind folks, with these results that I'm reviewing here, they're for the veterans bracket, meaning your account has been open for over 61 days. If you're new to the game, you're in the actual beginners bracket for the arena from day 1 to day 30 from the time the account was open. From 31 to 60, you're in the intermediate arena. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of folks that post, or there's no place really across the community that gather self-reported scores. And again, it's only self-reported results because Kabam never officially releases this information, but there's enough folks across the community now on places like in Reddit or in MCOC Truckers who are gathering this data that we have a really good sense of. When I say results, these are pretty much spot on. They're not exact, but they're pretty much in the ballpark. And it's the historical results that I always look at. But anyway, coming back to the actual comparison of my predictions to the results, again, I did miss out on the 5-star feature, 4-star feature, and the 4-star basic. Those are all within 5 to 10%, actually closer to 5%, so these are really good numbers. So now that we've kind of reviewed round 1 results, let's take a look at some past round 1 to round 2 results to get an idea of what might happen this time. Starting first with the 4-star basic arena. So when Medusa came around, she was 1.6 in the first, 1.2 in the second. You can see with Green Goblin, his second run was actually lower. But with Miles Morales, it was slightly higher, and then so with Iceman, it was slightly higher. So for the most part, they're at the same or slightly higher. Green Goblin was kind of the exception here. I think especially here, if you look at the most recent 2, it seems that the numbers are very similar, but are slightly higher. So let's kind of think of what will probably happen this time with Cable. Coming over with the 4-star feature arena, you can see with Red Skull was pretty much the same. Massacre went down a little bit, but then the most recent 2, Dark Hulk and Annihilus, they all went up a couple 100,000 points. So I think that's kind of like where things at. It's very similar to the 4-star basic, where it's, Medusa, she was the same. Red Skull was the same. Massacre had to drop. Green Goblin had to drop. But then the other 2, you also had a slight increase. Maybe that was also maybe more indicative of what was going on in the game at the time. Who knows? We'll see. But I think in general, if you even look at past results beyond these, typically the round 2 is slightly higher. Nothing significant. I mean, they're very on par or slightly higher for the most part, but from time to time you get that Massacre type result. Now with the 5-star feature, you can see it's again similar, where Red Skull was higher in the second round, Massacre was lower in the second round, but in both the case of Dark Hulk and Annihilus, they were a little bit higher. So whatever was going, again, these trends are all exactly the same between the 4-star, 5-star, and 4-star basic arena. So again, this may be more indicative of what's been going on at the game at the time versus what we can actually use to get an idea with arena. But you know what, we're going to stick with the process. It typically doesn't fail me. So I think looking at these numbers, we can expect round 2 of the 5-star feature Domino arena be slightly higher. So kind of talked about it already, but just to kind of recap my round 2 predictions for the Domino and Cable arena. Starting first with the 5-star feature, she was at 40 million in round 1. I think she's going to be slightly higher at 42 million in round 2. there is a chance where we see some all-time high compared to what we typically see. Not all-time high, but we see higher than normal results. Typically, the second round is slightly lower, but there hasn't been any recent examples of that. And with Darkhawk and Annihilus, who were already higher first rounds anyway, they went slightly higher again in round 2. So I'm going to stick with that trend and think that she's going to go slightly higher. Not significantly higher, just slightly higher in round 2 for the 5-star feature. For the 4-star feature, same thing, slightly higher, coming at 6.5, and then Cable at 1.6. I mean, that is slightly, but very, almost the exact same numbers, 1.56. But so I think net, I think all of these arenas for the most part are going to go a little bit higher, but nothing significantly higher in round 2. And then, of course, looking at the 3-star feature, 725, that's typically the same thing too, slightly higher compared to round 1 results. Now, like I always say, I try to get within 5 to 10%, so I always like to give a grind target. So if you want to give yourself a better chance and not missing out on that champ, 45 million for the 5-star feature Domino, and she's still such a great champ in the game. That's pretty cheap compared to other arena grinds you're seeing, especially for new champs kind of stuff that really don't kind of compare to Domino. To go only up to 45 million, that's pretty much worth it. For the 4-star feature, 6.7 million should be fine. For the 4-star basic Cable, 1.8 million, and lastly 750 to 775 for the 3-star feature Domino. And again, these grind targets and predictions are for the veterans result. When it comes to the earlier brackets, the beginner and intermediate, as I shared a couple minutes ago, there's just not really a consistent place across the community for me to kind of look at these past results to see if there are any trends. These numbers are based off of that anecdotal information I get from time to time from folks either posting the scores on the channel's Twitter account or directly in the comment section of the channel. So either place, if you can let me know what you're doing, I do really appreciate it if you're in these earlier brackets, because again, it's pretty much the only sign I get anymore. I did have my own account about a month or so ago, took through beginner and the early part of the intermediate, the first week or so of intermediate, and these results you see up here, or these numbers anyway, are based off of that, plus the latest and greatest info I got from you guys in the community. Anyway, for the 3-star feature, I think we're still looking around 225, 4-star basic 800, 4-star feature you want to dry to 1.4, intermediate bracket 3-star feature 525, 4-star basic 1.1, and lastly the 4-star feature 1.2 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 2 of the Domino and Cable arenas. We'd love to hear your opinion, or if you have any questions, either reach out to the Twitter account for the channel, or just post your questions or thoughts in the comment section of the videos. And if you found this information helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you click the thumbs up button. Other than that, thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.